All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions defense going up against Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense, which had a very up and down performance against Green Bay. And Detroit, I think their defense has been up and down all season. It's had some great plays and some disastrous plays, so should be an interesting matchup. I should mention, already made a video on the other side of the ball, Jared Goff and the Lions offense against the 49ers defense, so check that out if you're interested. But yeah, let's just get into let's get into this video. So this is where each team ranks in specific positional categories according to PFF, and definitely a lot of interesting notes here. Some mismatches, maybe no bigger mismatch we've ever seen in a conference championship game using PFF grades than PFF receiving data and the coverage for Detroit. 27th coverage here for the Lions versus first for San Francisco, and still ninth best passing. PFF has, maybe not been blown away by Brock Purdy, but been impressed by Brock Purdy. And it is worth mentioning, he's actually the seventh highest graded quarterback overall. But again, passing is just ninth. Although I would say for the Lions too, their coverage, we'll get into it, but there may be some mismatch things that I actually don't know if you go into this game saying, oh, well, they're just going to get lit up left and right. But again, we'll get into that. The pass blocking has been a big issue for San Francisco. And while the Lions haven't really done a great job at rushing the passer as a whole, they have Aiden Hutchinson, who's amazing. And he's a one-man wrecking crew. And, there's other guys I like, but definitely he is the star. And for San Francisco, quite frankly, I kind of feel like every play where Aiden Hutchinson is left one-on-one is a mistake. Unless it's Trent Williams. If he's on Trent Williams, you're good there. But kind of both guys have the one star, but then have lacked depth in that area. So it should be interesting. But again, the defense gets to choose where they put their guys. So for Hutchinson, even have him in the interior if you want. But I expect, if I was the Lions, I'd put him on Colton McKivitz quite a lot in this game. Interestingly, though, the Niners have run blocked incredibly well, best in football. I don't know if you'll ever see a disparity quite that different between run block and pass block, but that's, again, they value run blocking. They go out and sometimes intentionally go out and get guys who are really good at run blocking. So I think that's what part of what they're doing here. Also, third best just rushing team in general. So their backs have been very good. Specifically, that Christian McCaffrey guy, pretty good. But again, the Lions stop the run very well. So while usually the Niners can run all over everybody, you have to wonder, how well is that going to work in this game? Like a play like this, for example, in the Detroit Lions versus Los Angeles Rams playoff game, you see that linebacker right there. Watch what he's going to do. This is going to be a running play. I was trying to figure out the best running back that they went up against, and, I don't know. Kyren Williams was good, so I was watching film from this game. He's not Christian McCaffrey, but who is, right? Watch as you're going to, Kyren Williams is going to get the handoff, and immediately that linebacker gets over and is able to make a play on that one. Okay, great stuff. That was Alex Anzalone who made the play, and that's definitely something that the Lions have made a real conscious effort of this season is stopping the run. That being said, you do have to wonder, well, okay, couldn't the San Francisco 49ers just completely throw all over the middle? And listen, they're the Niners, of course they're going to get that to some degree, but the Lions actually haven't been as bad at those over the middle routes as you might expect, given how aggressive their linebackers are and how linebackers, not exactly household names, right? Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, not exactly guys you look at, anyone's buying a jersey of necessarily. But again, going over to this next play, you see for Green Bay here, this is, a situation where these are the kind of things that the 49ers love to run, right? Have kind of a, play fake, and it's going to be a fake to a wide receiver. Then Jordan Love runs towards the bottom of the screen, couple of routes over the middle. Watch as Jordan Love does, run this fake. He's then going to scramble towards the bottom of the screen. And over here, he just doesn't love what he sees. Nothing is really open right here. So definitely the Lions are capable of doing this. I'm not saying they're doing this every time. And again, coverage matchups do make a difference. If they're going to play cover 3 zone all game, well, then perhaps you can get guys open over the middle more frequently. Who knows what the Lions are exactly going to do, because they do mix things up pretty frequently. On this play, Jordan Love just throws the football away. All I'm doing with these plays is saying, listen, the Lions have at times shown a great ability to cover this stuff up. And to expect the Lions are just going to be disasters throughout would just be unfair. They definitely are capable of making some plays. That being said, we all know it, but it's true, they're capable of getting burned as well. Play like this is a good example in that Green Bay game, and I do wonder if San Francisco tries stuff like this, where this is going to be Christian Watson just running a deep shot. It is a single safety deep coverage, and you have to wonder again, Deebo Samuel, we don't even know if he's going to play, so that's a big X factor. I mean, that would really help out Detroit if Deebo Samuel is not in the game, but you still have Brandon Ayuk, you still have George Kittle, you still have guys who can go down the field. Watch what Watson is going to do here. As you see, Love takes the snap. He's going to eventually look towards Watson's direction, fires it, and Watson is wide open. This is, Cam Sutton, the corner who was on him right here. If we're just being honest, Cam Sutton he's not a number one corner, right? He's been really a number two corner for most of his career. He's been asked to be a number one corner for Detroit, and he hasn't really lived up to that billing, which is understandable. As you see on this one, Love makes a good throw. They're able to get a completion. And I mean, we even saw just last week, right? Sutton gave up a lot of yards to Mike Evans in that game. Not to say he was on him one-on-one every play or anything like that Evans got yards. But still, that's just kind of how the Lions operate, is you can beat them on the outside. They kind of make a conscious effort to, play the game sort of 0 to 15 yards down the field, but that means you can get some deep shots. And I do feel like if I'm San Francisco, you have to take your chances every now and then. You have to be willing to push the ball down the field. It's a little bit out of San Francisco's comfort zone, but I think they can do it. To me, I think this game might come down to, can the Lions continue to make big plays? Going over here, quite frankly, it doesn't get much bigger than this, right? I mean, the Buccaneers, 1 minute and 39 seconds left in a timeout, need to drive the length of the field, but still, one drive to tie the game for the Lions, one drive to win the game defensively. You see the route on the screen. It's Derek Barnes on Cade Otton is what it's going to end up being. Watch as when this play begins. Again, you can see why Mayfield wants to make this throw, right? You can see where the window could come up, but this is just Derek Barnes making a big play, not just finding a way to get a stop, but watch him get over and find a way to intercept the football altogether and win the game for the Detroit Lions. And if they can consistently, keep getting these big plays, and it doesn't just have to be turnovers, right? A lot of sacks against Tampa Bay, which were a lot of times schemed up more so than just a player winning. They had some crucial sacks and some crucial, plays for losses against the Rams as well. Getting those splash plays, that's what can really work. So, okay, final predictions time. What am I expecting? Man, it's a tough ask here. It's hard to figure out exactly where to put things. I mean, you look at for the season, it's definitely high on both sides, right? I mean, especially San Francisco. Detroit, defensive points per drive, again, not terrible. 2.09 has not been a mess this season, but it's definitely been on the higher side. And then San Francisco is best in football, 2.89, absurdly good. I mean, that's, easily the best in football. They've been amazing this season. I do think Detroit stands a chance in helping stop the run, and I do think they stand a chance in these over-the-middle routes as well. But that being said, it's San Francisco. They're going to get those plays. They're still going to get big rushes, and they're still going to get over-the-middle stuff. And again, I'm not expecting Brock Purdy to miss as many throws as he missed against, Green Bay. That being said, I still think they're going to be able to get the ball down the field, get some of these big splash plays down the field. I am predicting still a relatively good offensive day for San Francisco. I'll predict 2.45 points per drive. I was in between 2.4 and 2.5. Usually I just do, I don't go 0.05 addition there, but I couldn't really, hey, I was in between two. I figured, whatever, let's just do that. So, yeah, I am predicting a pretty high offensive showing across the board in this game. My final prediction, if it's an 11-drive game, I will go Lions 25, 49ers 27. So, yeah, I think the Lions really have a chance here. I think that to count them out would be silly. Again, I think they might have to win the turnover. Actually, I think they have to win the turnover battle. I think that it's really going to be tough for them to win this game without at least getting a +1 in the turnover battle department. And this prediction is kind of me assuming they're going to get like a +1. And if they can get more than that, that's where I think the scales actually shift in their favor. Again, don't expect Purdy to play as poorly as he did against Green Bay, but also don't expect guys to get as open as you might think just looking at, the personnel versus personnel. Scheme is a real thing here, and I do think the Lions match up well, but ultimately not well enough against a really strong 49ers offense. And again, I am factoring in the Deebo Samuel injury. I'm not expecting a ton from him if he does play, so that's also a big factor here. But yeah, I think there's upset alert. I love the Lions +7. I think that's a great bet. I don't really bet, but if I did, I would definitely be hammering that one in my opinion. But again, could I see the Niners also winning by 1,000,000? Absolutely. We've seen them do that. Not all season, but a lot this season. So those are my thoughts on the way this game should go. I think it's going to be a great game and a great championship weekend. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.